It's like
You
the
can
Teddy
do-
Roosevelt thing. Teddy Roosevelt was shot during a speech and pulled a gun and just started pointing it into the crowd, ready to shoot whoever just shot him.
You know, it's like a politician waving a gun at the crowd, and all the papers at the time were like, "Strength incarnate." We all love our president who waves guns at people.
You say that. Let me ask you this: like the president has a look. Like people got their feathers ruffled when Obama put on a gray suit. Like the president has a look. What would you contribute to the president's look, or like maybe like his maybe Air Force One, or like how the Secret Service look or operate, or
brass knuckles? I would wear brass knuckles all the time
as the president.
That people, and it would say U.S. Well, okay, I need to think of another one. It would say U.S. U.S. Space A.
Prez.
Yeah, I'd say Prez.
Yeah.
I would do all my speeches like that.
President.
And when I went to foreign nations, I'd make them kiss my knuckle duster like that, like a ring. And I would say, like, I won't destroy your nation.
Conversation away from doing that, I guarantee.
He was one conversation from a man like me.
What if that was your signature? What if you had a ring that you dipped into ink, or like hot wax, like Game of Thrones style, and that was how like laws.
And they call me the Punisher.
Well, I don't know about that.
The Punisher president.
I don't know about
is that because you would yourself elect to carry out capital punishments at the Lincoln Memorial?
Yes.
By beating people to death.
It's because I would solely, as president of this new dictatorship, I would take control of that. There's a pedophile on the public square. We're taking him right to Washington, D.C., right in the middle. And I demand that every single news station show it, even Nickelodeon. And they all show me pummel this pedophile to death, and everyone
You're going to beat him to death with the.
I'm going to beat him to death, except it's not going to. We got to sell ad space, and so it's going to take a bit. It's going to be probably a 12-minute beating, keeping him alive.
Will there even be any auspice of like this is a fight to the death, or will he just be restrained?
No, it'll just be President Taylor is delivering justice. That'll be texted to everyone's phone.
Oh, we're getting push alert. I like push alert.
And it will have a force open link sent to you.
It's an Amber Alert. It's an Amber Alert. What? We need like
and if you try to close, and if you close your eyes, terrorist watch list. Because you are a terrorist sympathizer.
This is some
eye tracking technology.
I like it.
I like that. No, I like the knuckle duster idea though.
It's so tight.
You know what?
Imagine how cool they would look.
I like on the shoulder pads if they have those ruffles, those little things that hang down.
I'd love a little roughage, a little bit of differentiation
what do you call
in
that?
The block that they are.
The gold tassels. That's exactly it. I want the gold tassels on the shoulder pads. I think it add a bit of gravitas, right?
Like, you know what I want to have? I want to have
across.
I'm gonna have a mustache of gold tassels.
A mustache,
but to mention it is a death sentence.
See, that's a leader. Okay, that man's wearing pantaloons. Like that's how you know he's a real man.
Yeah, and look at the sword. That's awesome.
That guy's a NASCAR.
I do like his sword.
I love his sword. Do you think he knows how to use it, or it's just? Do they teach soldiers how to use the sword if they get it ceremonially?
They do not.
I wonder how dull it is.
The last cavalry charge officially issued was in Afghanistan. I want to say in like 2005. It was a British officer who was there with people, and they didn't kill anyone. But he is the last known person to give the command to fix bayonets charge. And they all got their it was like, two people just taking pot shots from a building. He's like, oh, now's my chance. Fix bayonets.
I'm not fixing bayonets ever.
No, that guy's hilarious. I like to imagine him being like, fix bayonets.
Yeah, I hope everyone was laughing while they did it. I hope it was a big joke.
I hope it was a joyous death.
I hope it was a joyous death.
That's all you can hope for, right?
What about
joyous death?
You could also live.
Spartans wanted.
Do you think that
they were more about honor?
I think the president would look good if he had like a helm of some kind.
You know what the president would look good with? You know those contacts that can change your eye color? 2 jet black shark eye. And now every other world leader is like, I can't get a read on this guy. He's got his shark eye contacts in. Imagine how retarded Joe Biden would look with
he would look so
shark
confused.
eyes.
Imagine like Biden sitting down with world leaders and just
Yeah, I'm gonna bomb your country. And it's like I don't know how to read them. Look at those shark eyes.
I
Or
read.
you know what? Or we could do no, it wouldn't have to be out of necessity, but eye patch. An eye patch on the president. It fronts us as a tough country that knows how to deal with a little loss but bounce back from it. Eye patch.
I read a statistic that we have now given Ukraine more than their military
Their
budget
own
in
military
arms.
budget. Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking ridiculous.
And now with the Lend-Lease Act, there is no need for congressional approval for anything. Biden can send them however much of whatever he deems.
I think there's
that
a
they
cap
need.
on it. I'm
So
not
we're in
sure.
the
I
looting
thought I read
portion
there
of
was
the
a
fall
cap
of
on it.
Rome. Interesting.
I read there wasn't one, but
Join the
I
crowd.
read Reddit
Could be
comments.
wrong.
So
Oh,
Reddit
okay.
comments can be a very
a wasteland of sorts.
yeah.
You know, it's one of the wildest thing. You mentioned eye patch, and it made me think. Whenever I was learning to use night vision goggles, I started out with a monocle, or like the monocular one, so it's just one
Yeah.
eye.
Mhm.
Before I got two, and everyone, there's this thing you'll hear, like it's kind of like a FUD opinion, but you'll hear online like, oh well, one is actually better than two because it's the whole eye patch thing. Because if you have one eye that is always adjusted to night vision, and you have the other eye that's using night vision, you can just flip that up, or you can switch or whatever, and your other eye can still see well at night. All right. From experience, that is the opposite of what happens.
You have no depth perception.
You have, for one, you have absolutely zero. But what happens is your brain is staring at green for so long, like if you wear them for an hour straight. I was walking around like, yeah, I'm done. I flip it up, and I thought I was dying. All of a sudden, my entire vision went completely red. I couldn't see anything. Just like everything was normal, and then it got redder and redder, and I eventually couldn't see. And I grabbed my friend and was like, what's going on? And he stares at me. He's like, oh yeah, the red thing. I'm like, what do you mean the red thing?
Oh, that classic red thing. We all know.
Your cones and rods are all messed up.
Look at this idiot. He's having
How long
the
is
red
Cones in my
thing.
rods, Sherry. They're all fucked up.
How long?
What
Not
was
long.
that, Woody?
How long does the red thing last?
It was like 20 seconds. Like it wasn't long at
okay.
all. But like, so the reason people say that is because there's an old rumor or like legend that the reason pirates would wear an eye patch over one eye is so that whenever they walked below deck and it was now dark, they could flip the eye up and they'd be able to see automatically downstairs. Maybe that worked a bit better because it went from black and it's just sunlight. But I can tell you, it does not work with night vision. That's a lie. If anyone tells you that, they're trying to sell you on something. You don't want the red thing to happen. It was very scary.
Wow. I kind of want the red thing to happen.
No.
I kind of want to be.
Oh, I never
really
thought of that, Woody.
uncomfortable.
Woody, I bet flying at night would be awesome with night vision.
So, I
Probably
didn't let you
safe
finish.
too.
Yeah. So you're not allowed to fly at night, but hypothetically, had that been done,
Who are
It's-
they going to send after you?
it's super scary. You probably think you know your way around your town. Maybe you do. From the sky, it's a whole new perspective. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to be like, man, I even know this major road, but which way is which? I'm not 100% sure. You end up navigating by like iPhone, which by the way is a lot to do at one time. You know, like to fly and look at the phone and to check it, and maybe you've got gloves on and your control sucks, and
And to make sure you don't accidentally fall out of the lawn chair.
right, yeah, this is all this. You're just kind of task saturated trying to navigate by phone and not know where the hell you are and maintain altitude and all that bullshit. And landing in the dark is really difficult to tell your height, and you really want to get that super right. You know, if you're off by even 2 feet or so, it's kind of crashy.
So look, get like the good night vision. I don't know what they are now, like the good quad nod stuff. But like you could have a laser mounted on the side of your helmet, a lasing rangefinder that would give you a heads up display of your fucking range
does
to the
sound cool.
ground. So like you can't even mess it up. you'd be like, okay, 10 feet, 8 feet, 6, 4, 3, and all right, let's pedal or whatever. Whatever you do.
Let's
Right.
But like the good, like the stuff that I used 5-6 years ago that was top of the line then, I felt like some sort of a super, like a superhero or something. Like you can see as well as you normally can. It's not all green. It was more of a, I mean, there was color and there was a blue tinge to things, but oh my God, the resolution was so high.
So it's not as
Digital night
instantaneous
vision,
as
yeah.
you're talking about, but every so often I take an iPhone picture in the very dark, like I'm camping or something, and it's like it does not look like that here. It has turned dark into day. It's pretty impressive. So I can imagine night vision is that, but better.
You can get a thermal case for your iPhone, that'll give you a thermal camera on there. It's like $200, $250 or something. I saw them at SHOT Show years ago. I'm sure they're probably
I can
still
see all the
$200.
leaks in my house.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it works in pitch black darkness. You can.
This
see.
window costs me
neat.
money. This door costs me money. This hole costs me. These cabinets have air coming in behind them. I don't like knowing this.